From Mentor English, myself, Professor MA Raza. Hope you will be fine and in the high state of belief and health. So today we are going to discuss what are the levels of linguistic analysis and what are the details. So let's get started. Levels of linguistic analysis. If you are searching for what is linguistic, so all the related lectures are also available on the same channel. Must subscribe and hit the bell icon. And if you are a teacher and you are searching for English lectures of Afaq and Tifli and Oxford and Educator, so you are on the correct and right platform and on the right channel. Must subscribe and hit the bell icon. Mentor English. And if you are searching for Urdu literature and Hindi literature, then must subscribe and hit the bell icon of our Urdu channel, Mentor Urdu. Thank you very much. Welcome back, dear watchers, dear viewer. The language activity has three principal levels. The language activity has three principal levels: substance, form and context. Substance is the raw material of language that may be phonic or phonic, audition or graphic, visual or written. Form is the internal structure. It is grammar plus lexis or lexis. Context is the relationship between form and situations. Relationship between form and situation. It is studied under the head semantics, meanings. Linguistic level is a hierarchical analysis of language structure. Different linguistics describes it in different ways. Robert Hall recommends three levels: phonology, phonemics and phonetics, morphology and syntax. R.H. Robbins also describes three: phonology, grammar and semantics. Hawkins advocates 5 levels, which he calls subsystems, of which 3 are central and 2 are peripheral. The 3 central subsystems are: number 1, the main heading, the grammatical system; number 2, the phonological system; number 3, the morphonemic system. So the first one is the grammatical system. It is a stock of morphemes and the arrangement in which they occur. And number 2, the phonological system. It is a collection of phonemes and the arrangement in which they occur. And number 3, the morphophonemic system. It is the system of codes which tie the grammatical and the phonological systems together. The next one, the two peripheral systems. Number 1, the semantic system, and number 2, the phonetic system. Number 1, the semantic system. It is associated with various morphemes. We can say it is related to, or it is connected to various morphemes, their combinations and their arrangements. By which they can be put with things and situations of kinds of things and situations. The two peripheral systems are: number 1, the semantic system. It is associated with various morphemes, their combinations and the arrangement by which they can be put with things and situations or kinds of things and situations. Number 2, the phonetic system. The phonetic system, it is about the way in which sequence of phonemes are converted into sounds, into sound waves by the articulation of a speaker and decoded from the speech signals by a hearer or by the receiver. listening receiver. So I repeat it for you. The peripheral systems are two. Number one, the semantic system. It is associated with the various morphemes, their combinations and their arrangements by which they can be put with things and situations or kinds of things and situations. Number two, the phonetic system. It is about the ways in which sequence of phonemes are converted into sound waves by the articulation of a speaker and are decoded from the speech signals by a hearer. So all the above levels are according to the convenience of the linguists in their studies of the subject matter, but all these aspects of language activity converge on the same point. Only the names and different only the names are different. They are all based on three types of pattern in language: the material, the structural, and the environmental. Language activity, and now we are going to discuss it as a complete on the board. So first, language activity. Under the language activity, you are watching as the three main subsystems. Number one, substance, we can say material or aspect. Number two, form as structural aspect, and number three, context as environmental aspect. Below this, everyone have more subforms. For example, if we take the substance, there is a phonic substance and graphic substance, phonology and braphonology or braphonology. These are the systems of material aspect. And on the other hand, structural aspect, in form, there are also two subsystems. Number one, grammar, and number two, lexis. And they are also interconnected. Number three, the context or environmental aspect. There are also two subsystems or two subfields. Number one, textual, and number two, situational. I'm gonna repeat the subfields again. Substance subfields or subsystems: phonic and graphics, or phonic or graphic, phonology and braphology. And in form, grammar and lexis. And in context, the subfield will be textual and situation. And on the lowest part, or on the lowest way, we can say syntax is made by grammar and lexis, and syntax is related to morphology and related to semantic. On the same time, related to morphology, as you are watching on the board. Stay and be attentive on the board, please. As you can see, syntax is related, or syntax made by grammar and lexis subfields of form or structural aspect, and then it create a syntax, and syntax is related to morphology and semantic on the same time. And on the lowest level, we can see, before going to the lowest level, I want to repeat it again for your better understanding. As you can see, language activity has three subfields, as three subsystems, or three more parts, or three more divisions. The number one, substance; number two, form; and number three, context. On the lowest level, and other subfields of the substance are phonic and graphics. And in the lowest part of phonic, phonology, and the lowest part of graphic, braphology. On the other hand, you can see that is based on, if we reverse it, or if we vice versa it, braphology to graphics to substance, and phonology to phonic, and phonic to substance. Same as grammar to form, and lexis to form. Or if we change it vice versa, form will be uphold on grammar and lexis. On the other hand, textual and situational. and when we are going to conclude it, the first conclusion will be syntax will be created by grammar and lexis, but it is interconnected with morphology, and morphology is interconnected with semantic. So semantic is interconnected with the syntax and morphology on the same time, or we can say the main part of, or the main field of, or the main classification of morphology is semantic, which is directly interconnected with the syntax. Is it clear to you now? Okay, well done. Now sound, language pattern and meanings. So these are the three important factors. They are interconnected in each and every verse and each and every style and each and every system. So this is the complete way, and this is the complete variety, this is the complete variety, and this is the complete system of language activity. How language perform started from the three main subsystem, then 5 important system, then on the final stage sound related to language patterns, and language related to the meaning. So today we have got that what type of our lecture, and the topic of the main lecture we have learned very clearly, and we have discussed very clearly. The topic was levels of linguistics analysis. So dear watcher, dear subscriber, now we will discuss its as a formal way, as at the end, as a exclusive or as a conclusive remark. Levels of linguistic analysis: the grammatical system, the phonological system, the morpho-phonemic system, then the semantic system, the phonetic system, and we have listened, and we have done the complete chart, and we have got all the knowledge about the particular chart. So now we have got the basic and all the knowledge regarding it. So let me go now, and before going, I request to you that must subscribe and hit the bell icon. So let me go now and say with me: do something more for humanity, do something more for knowledge and practices. Have a good day.